evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Host Pool, and I am here with the two delightful hosts of Are You Gaming? And we are here to do a question and answer section for the both of them that the fans have asked of them to do. And so, without further ado, I shall introduce the Are You Gaming collection of Flog and Igeeling. Hello everyone, I'm Flog.
Hi, Igeeling.
And we are You Gaming, as the host has very clearly announced. And that host is definitely not me. Not at all. Alright. So, what questions you got for us, host? Oh, I am definitely not you, Mr. Flog. If anybody were to think that, well, they would just be dead wrong. Yes, indeed. Anyway, I have a couple of questions for you, and I will then speak the name of said person, as is the usual of these kinds of things. So we have one question. We actually have two questions from the first person, and both of these questions will be from Saved in 1080p. That is the name that they have decided to go by. And the first question that I have to ask you is, what is your favorite restaurant and / candy? Well, that is a very interesting question to start with. Let's see. Do you want to go first, Igeeling?
I suppose so.
Alright, you go ahead and you go first.
Oh, my favorite restaurant would have to be... I actually have two. But if I had to pick between them, I'd probably say Sake, a Japanese steak restaurant in town. And candy-wise, probably Reese's Cups.
Okay.
Oh, and the underwear question.
Oh, no. That question has not been asked yet.
Oh. Right.
You're jumping the gun there. Okay. Obviously, we took a little look at the questions beforehand to make sure that they weren't too personal or incredibly strange. But let's see. She said sake and Reese's Cups. I believe that my favorite restaurant would have to be... I don't know. Let's go with... I like O'Charlie's. O'Charlie's has always been a big place that I've liked. Because they are just incredibly good food. And as for candy... now that's a good question, because, I don't know. I eat a lot of candy, don't I? Probably, I don't know. It kind of depends on my mood, but if it's chocolate-wise, it's probably going to be, I don't know. I like those chocolate, what are they? The chocolate, the pomegranate chocolate-covered things, the Brookhaven stuff.
God.
I can't remember what they're called. I think it's Brookhaven. I think that's the brand that makes them. But yeah, that would be my answer for those two questions. Or no, I guess that was two questions in one. But that would be my answer for that question. Okay, so what's the next question? Ah, yes, sake and O'Charlie's. I too enjoy of those fine establishments as well. As for candy, I'm not very partial to candy. I might be more partial to a nice black licorice. Yes, indeed. As I am old and definitely not Flog. Indeed. The next question from Saved in 1080p is a rather odd question, but we decided to leave it in to see what you guys would say. And that is, what color of underpants are you wearing? And this is again from Saved in 1080p. Oh, the question is, what color underwear are we wearing? Yes, indeed. I'm checking the no. Yes, it is the question. That's an odd question. Darjeeling fielded the first one, so I will field the second one, and that is right now. I'm wearing pajamas, so unless you want to count pajamas as a underwear, they're blue.
That basically means he's going commando.
Well, I'm wearing pajamas. Pajamas are underwear when you're tired. Ah, jeez. Anyway, what about you, Darjeeling? I'm interested in this one.
Black and pink. Shut up.
Oh, black and pink. Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Silky, if you're absolutely curious about the texture.
What's going on? What's silky? Huh? What? Oh my god! Calm down. Okay. Vlog must be calm. Okay, there we go. Anyway, I guess that's the best answer you're gonna get from us with the underwear question. You weirdo. That's right, I'm looking at you saved in 1080p. You weirdo. She's waving at you. We're waving at you, you
my
weirdo.
Finger, but they don't have fingers.
Waggle!
So...
Waggle! Anyway, what's the next question, host? Well, that was a very personal question, I do have to admit. And there aren't many of those, we can assure you of that. We had our people scan through everything before these questions were asked. But question the third, that would be, what is your favorite thing to do in the whole world? And this is from Light in a Dark Room. I'm sorry, the type is very strange on this. But this would be from Light in a Dark Room. So, what is your favorite thing to do in the whole world? Flog and Darjeeling. Her favorite thing to do in the whole wide world, huh? That is quite the question, Light in a Dark Room. So, I'm gonna let Darjeeling do this first, and then I'll answer the question second after that. So, what is your favorite thing to do in the whole wide world, Darjeeling?
My favorite thing to do in the whole wide world is attend the live concert of my favorite band, which is Jeering Gray. They only come around like once a year, maybe, but it's still one of the most fun experiences I can imagine.
Oh yeah, yeah, that is a lot of fun. I usually go with her because Jeering Gray is one of my favorite bands as well. I don't know if that's my favorite thing to do in the whole wide world though. I honestly don't really know. I think my favorite thing to do in the whole world, I do a lot of stuff. So, I can tell you what I don't like to do, and that's work. So I would not choose work for this question. But other than that, I think my favorite thing to do would be probably either going to a really good movie. I love movies. Movies are a big part of my life, alongside music, but movies are a huge part of my life, as well as I love going to conventions and stuff. So, I mean, if I could go to conventions nonstop, I would be in some form of heaven, I believe. I believe that's true. So, yeah, for me, it's either movies or conventions, and for her, it's going to concerts. So, there you go. That's the answer to that one. And that was, thank you very much, Light in a Dark Room, for that one. And what's the next question, host? That actually was a very interesting answer to that question. That you guys seem to like to both do concerts and then conventions, is that? Well, interesting. Anyway, on to the fourth question. The fourth question is, which series do you guys think is the best/funniest that you've made so far? And this question is posed by Hiksu Gaming. So, what exactly do you think the best series and the funniest series are that you've made so far, Darjeeling and Flog? Best series and the funniest series? Okay. The best series I think that we've done so far is probably our Borderlands 2, the couples play that we do for Borderlands 2. That's probably the best stuff that we've done, but then again, it's the longest series that we've done. I think the funniest series, though, for right now, I think the funniest series for the both of us would probably still be Borderlands 2. For me, it would probably be either Shovel Knight or Cthulhu Saves the World. One of those two, probably. That's just because I do voices in those. How about you, Darjeeling?
I'm actually going to have to agree with you about the Borderlands thing.
Oh, okay.
Because, I don't know, I think we have the most comedic interaction in those because of how much we pick on each other in them.
Yeah.
But solo, anything scary I play, because I think a lot of people get a kick out of screaming people.
And you do scream a lot. Well, I also, you guys might not have seen or might have seen by now our first Dead Island video. That might rival Borderlands 2.
Oh, God.
That might just rival Borderlands 2.
I really didn't know you could hear me.
Oh, yeah, I could hear her through the whole thing. You guys will see it. I'll provide a link to the other video if it's out. If it's not out, then this is a little preview for you guys. But yeah, I think we both agree that Borderlands 2 is probably the best and funniest series that we've done collectively together. And excuse me. And then for her, it would be horror games that she's played, and for me, it would be either Shovel Knight or what's the other one I said? Cthulhu Saves the World. Yeah. So that's that for that question. So what's the next question? Oh yes, I also enjoy that series that you guys have just mentioned. I was completely listening. I wasn't just zoning out and thinking of the best ways to get out of doing this interview. Oh. Anyway, let's go on to the next question. The next question would be from GLP Matty, and this is a slightly more serious question. But this question is, what do you think about making cannabis legal? So this is a bit more of a topical question and a bit more of an opinion piece than it is a straight answer. So what do you guys think about making cannabis legal, Flog and Darjeeling? I remember reading this question because we actually I asked the people on Freedom to ask us questions, and I remember the GLP Matty asked this question and he said that nobody ever answers it. And so I figured, it might be a bit more of a topical piece and it might be a bit more controversial and stuff like that. But I believe that most of our younger viewers and people around our age and maybe a little older, they might agree with our view on these things. So I'm going to go ahead and give my view on it, and then I'll let Darjeeling give her view on it. Basically, for me, I don't see that much of a negative side to making marijuana or cannabis legal, and that's because it's been shown, like in Colorado and stuff like that, where they've already legalized it. They've already collected a whole bunch of money in taxes, which is going to go to help a lot of things in Colorado grow and get better and stuff like that. And it also tends to cut down on the crime rate because there's not a whole lot of marijuana-related instances, I guess. Incidents. Yeah, that's what I meant to be saying, but I can't say words. So there you go. There's not a whole lot of those, and marijuana is the biggest quote-unquote illegal drug out there right now, so it would make up most of the even more violent crimes, I would say. So I think that the positives far outweigh the negatives to making it legal, and I think that we're working our way toward making it legal across the United States. But that's my feeling. How do you feel, Darjeeling?
For a topic like this, I've never really had an opinion that was neither positive nor negative. I've always felt kind of neutral about it because, I'm more of a let people have their opinions, and I I would probably have to say that, yeah, I agree with Vlog. There's a lot of potential, a good potential that could bring about legalizing cannabis and stuff, and I think, yeah, I pretty much just say legalize it. People who don't want to smoke it don't have to smoke it. People who want to can.
Yeah. I'm about the same way, and of course there's the whole medicinal side of stuff where,
Yes.
yeah, I mean that they've shown that that's helpful, and I had a sister that had cancer, and she did pass away, but it did. They let her use medicinal marijuana because she lived in California, and it did help her regain her appetite, so she was able to eat and have a little bit more of a productive life, even toward the end of everything. So I saw the effects of that firsthand, and so yeah, I definitely agree with that. So, but what's the next question you got there for us, Maestro? Ah, yes, that is a very touchy subject. So I'm glad that you guys handled it as well as you did. For right now, let's go with question number 6. And this has been asked by 3 different people in one form or another. So this was asked by Dark Vortex 101, Devon Gorham, and No Skill Needed YT. And that is, how old are you, and what inspired you to become a YouTuber? Well, I've said our ages a couple of times in some of our videos, but for those who might have missed it, I am 27.
And I'm 30.
Yeah, and we're the older kids on the block when it comes to this YouTube stuff. But then again, for the majority of our younger life, YouTube wasn't a big thing and stuff like that. So
YouTube didn't even really exist.
Yeah, YouTube didn't really. I mean, you got to remember, we're from the 80s and early 90s, so the internet was still dial-up back when we were kids. So the idea of YouTube didn't even make sense back when we were kids because of the beep, beep, the internet dial-up. Anyway, the other question, what inspired us to become YouTubers? Is this one that you wanted me to?
Yeah, I'm gonna let Vlog field this.
Okay. For me, it was more of a, I've always liked playing video games, and I've always liked playing video games with Darjeeling. And I wanted to really entertain people and show people that the couples that play together stay together. That's been my motto since the beginning of the channel. Originally, this was just going to be a couples play channel, where it was just going to be co-op stuff, but then we kind of branched off and did other things as well and kind of filled out the channel. But I've always enjoyed playing games with my fiance, and I just wanted to show that off. Also, I love entertaining people. I love hearing that people have been entertained by our videos. I never got into this for the idea that we would make a whole lot of money or anything like that. And truly, like I've said before, I never really expected a lot of people to subscribe to us and everything. And you guys have blown us away by the number of subscribers that you guys have given to us. So we really appreciate that. I think even Darjeeling appreciates that. But I kind of dragged Darjeeling into this. She didn't have any kind of aspirations to really become a YouTuber, and that was more of my thing. But I was like, we should do this together. That'd be really cool and stuff like that. And I eventually wore her down until she finally just gave in and said, okay. But also,
that's all right. He owes me a cooking class.
Yeah. Well, I can cook. I love to cook. But also, there's a secondary goal to this, and that was, Darjeeling's more of a shy person, and I've known that for a very, very long time, and I kind of want to try to use YouTube to kind of get her to open up and talk more, and it's kind of succeeded, because she's been talking a lot more recently than she has been, and she's being a lot more vocal, and so I really appreciate that from you guys as well. And stuff like that. So she is a lot less shy now than she was before, if you can believe that. So there you guys go. But you can probably see that in some of her videos. She's kind of gone from being kind of a shy person in her earlier videos to now she's kind of more talkative, especially in her The Pale One videos. If you've seen those, she talks a lot, and that surprised me when I was watching them. That was kind of interesting. But yeah, that'd be the answer to that question. What's the next one, buddy? Ah, yes, indeed. The dragging into YouTube, indeed. Anyway, I suppose we should move on to the next question. We've only got a couple more questions, and then we will let you guys go back to recording your videos and doing all that. But the next question is a rather silly one as well, and this one is, how many potatoes can you eat in a minute? And this is by Mr. Toothless Cat. So how many potatoes can the two of you eat in a minute? That might be the weirdest question that is in this list so far. I remember reading this question online and thinking, do I even really want to ask this question? But I kept it because there weren't a whole lot of silly ones, and so I figured, why not? And I said that I would answer as many questions as possible. So, Mr. Toothless Cat, you have asked us how many potatoes we can eat in a minute. And my answer is, I'm Irish, so I am made of potatoes, and therefore, 1.5 billion. I'll go with 1 billion. So, how many potatoes can you eat, Daijili, in a minute?
What kind of potatoes are we talking about? Are we talking about mashed or...
Well, that's another good question.
Baked or fried or...
He did not specify, so perhaps you could just answer with whatever type of potato you want. Let's go with fries. How many fries can you eat in a minute?
How many fries can I eat in a minute?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that. I've never really tried to eat more than one.
One in a minute?
At a time.
I'm a faster eater, so for me it's like I would just shove the whole box in my mouth. For her, I don't know. It's ballpark. If you were eating fries and you were eating them real fast, how many do you think you could eat in a minute?
You
think you could eat like a whole large fry in a minute?
No.
Small fry?
Maybe.
Okay. So we'll go with a small fry. Like, think McDonald's and think the small little bag fry, and she apparently can eat one of those in a minute. So there's your weird answer to that question. And so what's the next question? The old Irish excuse, Flog? Indeed. Let's go with question number 8. And like I said, we are rounding out. There are only 10. So question number 8. What would your reaction be if you one day woke up to find you had 24 million subscribers to your channel? And this was done by Anora Z. That was the name of the person who has asked this question. So, what would you guys do if you had 24 million subs overnight? 24 million. Daijili, what would you do if you woke up and we had 24 million subs?
Probably keep refreshing the page just to make sure YouTube didn't glitch.
Yeah, I think if I woke up and it said 24 million subscribers, the first thing I would do is not believe it, and then I would, like her, refresh the page over and over and over and over again, and then probably promptly then have a heart attack, or promptly get on some form of camera and stumble my way through trying to figure out how to thank 24 million people. I don't even understand. That number doesn't even compute to me. That'd be nuts.
Yeah.
That'd be nuts. Anyway, oh God. I mean, it'd be really cool because then, I would get to entertain a whole bunch of people, but at the same time, it would freak me out at first. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it would definitely freak me out. But, so yeah, we would definitely have a freak out, I believe, if we had 24 million subscribers overnight. But, okay, let's go on to the next question. 24 million subscribers. That is quite a number of people. And, it would be some form of dream, I suppose, for the majority of YouTubers, indeed. Number 9. What is your overall goal for your YouTube channel? And this is from Love the Ginger One. I suppose it is a relative of yours, Flog? Yes, indeed. Get it, Ginger? And you're Irish? Yes. You're funny. In all honesty, maybe. Anyway, but let's see. What is our overall goal for the YouTube channel? Do you? You want me to answer that one?
Yes.
It has to do with
Answer
YouTube.
that.
You want me to answer, right?
Yes.
Okay. The overall goal, as I've stated before, is pretty much to entertain as many people as we possibly can with our crazy antics and shenanigans. Other than that, like I said, to get Digeeling to open up a little bit more and stuff like that. And she's done that. So we've partially met at least that goal. And the other goal is to continue growing our community and continue to produce content that you guys enjoy. That's pretty much our goal. Our goal has never been to make money and stuff like that. If this allows us to open doors to things that we can do, obviously it'll all be because of the subscribers and because of you guys out there watching these videos. So technically, if we succeed in any way, it'll be all because of you guys. And we appreciate everything that you guys do for us. You think even Digeeling?
Yep.
Digeeling definitely agrees with that. So we definitely appreciate it when you guys sub and when you guys watch our videos and comment and stuff like that. It's really awesome. But anyway, let's go on to the last question. What's the last question, buddy? I'm glad that you found my joke so amusing, Flog. Please don't beat me after the show. That's all I ask. Indeed. All right, on to the last question, and this is a rather memory-racking question, I suppose. What was the first game you ever played, and on what platform was that played? And this was asked by Velosofy, and I will throw this question over to you guys. What is the first game you guys remember playing, and on what platform was that played on? The first game that I ever played, wow. Digeeling, do you want to go with that first? It's going to take me a while to think.
Oh.
God.
You know what? I can remember we owned an Atari in my family when I was a kid, but I would have to say the first game I played and the platform I played it on that I can remember would be Silent Hill on the original PlayStation.
Okay, yeah. God. Well, I can definitely remember before that. I know that one of my friends that lived down the street from me got an NES when I was about, I don't remember. It was probably when I was like 4 or 5. And I remember that we always used to go over to his house and play basically until his mom kicked us out and told us to go play outside. I remember when I got my first NES, I remember one of the very first games that I played was Battletoads. And anybody who remembers that remembers how infuriating Battletoads was. So it was a game that caused me massive torment as a child because I thought that I was just horrible. But then as I grew up and started talking to other people, I realized everybody's horrible at that game. Because that game is hard.
I personally wouldn't know. I don't think I've ever played Battletoads.
Oh, if you've never played it, you don't want to. It'll make you not want to play video games ever again. It'll make you quit everything you've ever loved because you feel like you can no longer survive. That's how depressing that game is. Anyway, yeah, I would definitely go with probably Battletoads or Zelda on the original NES back when I was a kid. But if that is the last question, then we will go ahead and we will wave to everybody. And we will say... And don't hit me. Okay, there we go.
Sorry.
We will wave to everybody, and we will say thank you very, very, very much for your questions. Thank you very much for responding with serious questions for the most part, and some funny ones. We don't mind the funny ones. But we definitely appreciate it, and we appreciate everything that you guys do for us. that you guys allow us to keep making these videos and everything. And we will continue to make videos for you as long as you'll have us. That's the way we do it here at RU Gaming. But I am Flog signing out.
And I'm Darjeeling.
And we will see you guys in some of the future videos. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody, for watching that video. Click in the upper left to subscribe, and then check out Sir Flog and Shovel Knight. All right. Also, make sure to check us out on Google Plus and Twitter for all the new updates for the channel before you check out Darjeeling playing Outlast.
Hide in the locker, don't try to fight. I do not believe I will.